Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the Ubuntu Touch Q&A, episode 165, streamed live on May the 17th, 2025. My name is Alfred, and joining me tonight is...
Happily, welcome everyone.
Hello, Happily. Hope everything is going good.
Everything is fine.
Very
I hope
good.
it's the same for you.
Yes, indeed. All right, so let's start this episode with a little bit of news roundup. I've handpicked a few of the of those fixes that have stuck out to me, and let's start with the Lumiri camera app. There are two very important changes to the camera app. One of them is optional removal of EXIF data. So there seems to be an option now that allows to remove the EXIF data, so location, etc., sometimes also orientation, from the pictures when you take them, so that they're not stored anymore.
And this option is by default. So if you want to have EXIF registered as it was before, then you need to swipe up and tap on the mask icon thingy and allows turn off the privacy thing, because it was presented this way, privacy thing, because removal of EXIF information.
Right. But it also keeps the orientation now. That's a little fix that has landed later on. And that makes most of the picture still intact and workable. And the second change to the camera app was, or two remaining changes, video resolution and image quality. So it seems like on some phones, the camera was stuck at 720p. And with a little bit of tweaking in the camera app, it's now setting the resolution correctly when initialized. It's doing the same for the image quality parameter, so that when you take pictures, the image quality is taken into account, and it's not going to compress too deeply and too much, so that the quality is still intact and looking good.
Yeah.
Then we also have landed a little bit of, in Noble at least, the basis or the basics for encryption to work. So the basics are fscript, setting up a template for the fscript config, so that port maintainers can overlay it and modify it for the particular device that they're working on. And also the switch from turning on the phone to the Lumiri greeter. So I want to demonstrate this real quick. I'm going to enter my password. And I mean, I've already shown you the video last time, but I really enjoy turning my phone on, so to say. So I've rebooted the thing. The phone is booting up. And what else has landed in terms of encryption? Also, it's switching the behavior between auto login, basically, where you turn on the phone and it immediately goes to the Lumiri shell asking you for the PIN, or it goes to the Lumiri greeter, asks you for the PIN, and then starts the real shell in the user session. So it's booting up right now. And there we go. It asks for the PIN. Let me enter that. It also asks for the user password or PIN. I've entered it, and it's now starting the real shell with full Lumiri, where everything works perfectly fine. And you will see it will immediately go to the real shell. It doesn't ask you for another entry of passwords.
Yeah, it did that in the video, if I remember correctly.
Right. And now everything is
Very
in place everything is in place now for setting it up manually. So it takes some manual effort, and it seems like some devices are still in need of a little bit of tweaking here that haven't successfully encrypted their home directory yet. But I've tested it on the Fairphone 5 and it works there. So, and I've also been able to update over the air the phone, and it keeps the encryption intact. The system knows how to deal with the encryption, and everything works on the Fairphone 5 at least. So if anybody with a Fairphone 5 wants to try it out, I can link please reach out and I'll link you to the steps on how to set it up correctly.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Also, something with regards to Lumiri is the home button G setting. So Lumiri in Noble, or in main actually, has a G setting which you can trigger from the command line, which is mainly usable or mainly reserved for distributors of Lumiri, so that they can change the logo of the big friendly button, the circle of friends, and also the background color. And that allows to customize the look and feel of the home button, so to say. So just a tiny little thing, but I'm pretty sure someone is going to play around with it once they find out how to do this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of it.
Then we also have fixes to the Vola tablet with regards to Waydroid. So Waydroid now works on the Vola tablet as expected. At least it starts and does display stuff on the screen. And the last one that I want to mention is a bunch of fixes to HFD servers with regards to flashlights. So in the past, we've had the power indicator in the top bar showcasing the flashlight. I'm not going to be able to show this right now, but we have the flashlight switch in the indicator bar. And this is going to change a little bit. We are going to switch over to HFD service for that, so that it's not in the indicator anymore. The code is not in the indicator, but it asks HFD service to trigger the flashlight. And now port maintainers have an ability to set up the correct sysfs path to the LED subsystem, so that the correct driver is getting asked to turn on the flashlight. This is something that port maintainers can make use of, and it's been documented already. So it's already in the docs, and you can take a look at this at docs.ureports.com.
Very good. Yeah.
All right.
A lot happened. That's great.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to prepare my browser for the new applications.
Oh my God. As you know, we're trained professionals.
Exactly. But I can do that quickly. Right. And let's go. So yeah, we have new one that just popped up because I didn't have it when I updated my sheet. So we have one new application that is Asteroid Revival, which is a clone of the famous game Asteroid. So yeah, that's pretty welcome to have a new game on Ubuntu Touch. This app is from Vincenzo Gavioli. Sorry if I butchered your name. The design looks good. I like it. It's simple, but I love the background with real space images, or maybe it's artist images, but looks real to me. Didn't play it because I'm not a huge gamer on mobile, but that's good to have it. We have also a lot of updated applications, so not a lot of new ones, but a lot of updated applications. And it starts with the music recognition app that Luxus created almost 2 weeks ago. So it has been updated just after the show. So yeah, some updates. Okay, Netherlands language. So Dutch. And we have a lot of system apps, if I can call them this, pre-installed apps, core apps by UB ports. So we have the calculator, the camera as specified earlier, the clock, the file manager, the gallery app, the music, weather app, the terminal, the calendar. So yeah, a lot of goodness in preparation for Noble, I guess. I didn't check every one of them. Nimia app also updated their app for their IoT clients. So thanks Nimia for this. Thanks for all the contributors for the core apps. We have also Launcher Modulars that has been updated. So Server Linux updated and changed to a more recent framework, even if it's not the one for Noble yet, but I guess it will follow soon. But probably there will be more change needed in Launcher Modular to work on Noble. I didn't try this one, but that's something we can expect. Flow also has been updated. So Flow is a client for listening music on Deezer if you are gonna come there. So thanks, Sander, for that. We have also the chat application, Delta Touch. So thanks Lothar Ketterer for updating this application. It allows you to chat basically just with an email address. So way more privacy oriented than any other messaging app that I've seen yet. So yeah, pretty good one. Too bad that not a lot of people are on it. We've got also the UT translator that has been updated by Leon. So some tweaks have been made on different languages. So yeah, quite interesting to see this kind of improvement. It's not an app that you use every day, or maybe it is, but for me not. But it can save some butts when you're out there. And we've got also finally Todoist that has been updated by AFP Fabi. And just maybe a couple of hours ago, we just have the date. It's been updated today. So thanks a lot, everyone, for your continuous support of Ubuntu Touch with amazing applications. It helps a lot. And that's really important to have a real ecosystem of application. As a reminder, in November, people from Plasma Mobile asked if they could use applications from Ubuntu Touch because they lacked some of them on Plasma Mobile. And with Snap support nowadays, maybe it can be a reality sooner than later.
Yes, indeed. I want to get to snaps real quick because I forgot to mention this.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I've talked about the on-screen keyboard last time. Have I?
I think so. I think you mentioned something with the on-screen keyboard, but I'm not sure if we were live or not.
I will skim through this real quick, and that is here, for example, we have Pocket VMs. As you might be able to tell from tilting it a little bit, we have the on-screen keyboard. Pocket VMs is also available as a snap. And we also have hardware acceleration with OpenGL ES now. I've been able to figure out what's going on. It was using the desktop GL instead of OpenGL ES. And that means that snaps that use the Lumiri UI toolkit on AMD 64 get to use the desktop OpenGL, and on ARM platforms, they get to use OpenGL ES, which means that the hardware is always used properly no matter which application you use, no matter on which device you actually use it. So the same application the same Lumiri UI toolkit-based snap can run on both the mobile phone and also on the desktop, which is a really good feature to me, if you ask me.
Yeah, it allows a lot of things, and it was something that was really missed before then. So
right,
pretty good.
It's still not completely finished. It needs to be released, and I need to get in touch with a few Snapcraft folks because I can't figure out what's going wrong here. But needless to say, something on the horizon, and that is OpenGL ES and on-screen keyboard on snaps. So something to look forward to.
Very good. And yeah, you noticed a ding on my side. Sorry for that, but it's not entirely my fault because I switched off the sound in the UI, but it's still an issue with the Fairphone 5. So I need to file the bug report for that, but I didn't take the time yet. Now I'm being forced because publicly announcing it.
Well. So should we head over to the sponsors?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. So yeah, we'd love to thank every sponsors of UbiPorts, namely Smooth, Vola, Pine64, Weinstein, DigitalOcean, Netlify, Odoo Community Association, Private Internet Access, Gartner and Associates, Tixia, GitLab, CloudRun, Codlutin, Gandhi.net, and Brax Technologies. Thanks everyone for your support, and yeah, it's really useful for us to have those companies behind us, helping us achieve our goals. And we also have a lot of people to thank, our patrons. And we can do, namely, Acil, Adam Havelka, Conspy, Daniel Franchak, Ezra Elworth, Jose Angel Escura, JT, Caleb Clark, Kenneth Drew, Luigi311, Marty McFly Jr., Michael Kellner, Mr. T10001, Omegus, Pavel Arnost, PK, Robin Hood, Rondarius, Spendia Hosu, and some random people I took from the less level sponsor on Patreon. Kenji Spazzi, René, Andre Laurer, Barry Titterton. Yeah, I'm bad at this. But yeah, the random 5 are always a challenge.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for your support.
They spice it up though.
Yeah, always spice it up. But we like spices. Or
yes.
At least I do. So yeah, thanks everyone for your support. It means the world to us. And yeah, hopefully, if you want to support as well, you can head over to ubiports.com/donate. Or you can also go to our shop to buy some merch. That's represent. Okay, it's not good with the reverse camera, but you go to ubiports.com/shop to buy some merch and represents. And as Moon like to say, it won't make us rich, but it might make us famous. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. All right. We have a bunch of questions, or a handful at least, coming from the forums this week. We take those questions roughly start of the week so that people have enough time to come up with questions and ask them. And let's start with the one from Wally. Hi. Has there ever been talk amongst the devs about implementing RCS messaging? I hear it touted as an open standard, but I lack technical knowledge. Would it be as hard to work with as MMS was? I'm forever grateful to have functional MMS over here in Canada where it's a necessity. Bravo, and thanks to all the recent upcoming achievements. Really amazing progress. Thank you. So RCS is something that Marius might know something about, but obviously he's not here today. Needless to say, RCS will probably need some adaptation on the host side to take advantage of Halium side services. I would have to guess. I haven't looked into it, but I know that there are Halium services or services in the Halium container that are related to RCS. Actually, on the Pixel 3a, we had to disable RCS because that's the reason that was messing around with MMS receiving, because the carrier was thinking, oh, this device supports RCS, let's just send RCS instead of MMS. And that's what was causing all the trouble. Maybe we can ask Marius the next time he's here.
Yeah, so that's an interesting question and something that needed to be raised more recently. So thank you for this question, Wally. And,
All right, the next one is from
hopefully-
RDFRS. As a new user, I'm interested in the progress of the Morph browser. I'm trying UT for 2 weeks now and I would love to switch completely. However, I'm not able to load a few essential websites, banking, flight tickers, and there are also no apps available in my case. So improvements on the browser would make a huge difference. Cheers. The browser, Morph browser, is receiving the Qt 6 treatment at the moment, and we need this because we're stuck with Qt 5 at the moment, which means an old version of Chromium, which definitely doesn't support all the websites out there. But the hope is that with the upgrade to Qt 6, we will, for a short moment, regain a more recent version of the web engine, which is based on Chromium, so that we can display more recent websites and newer websites without much hassle. It's not completely there yet, and it won't be shipped in the operating system itself, but it might be shipped in the open store as an additional thing. So you would have a system integrated a system shipped browser that is the old Morph, and you might be able to just switch over to the Qt 6 based one by installing it from the open store. Still not finished, but it's on our roadmap, and we want it fixed soon so that we can all use more recent websites again.
Yeah. And it's almost linked to the next question by Vlad Nyoki. Vlad says, hello guys, my question concerns Noble's development versions. Is there a place where the changes made to each new build are listed so that we can test these points more precisely and report any bugs encountered? Thank you for your work on Ubuntu Touch. Yeah, that will be the GitLab account of Ubuntu Touch, of UBport, I think. It's
yes.
And
I mean, basically, it boils down to using the same link that we use to, maybe we can just link it here.
Yeah, I'm
posting it right
doing
now.
So. Yeah, this is this one. So yeah, this is the link that we use to search the recent merge request that has been integrated into the project. So, and you can see the recent evolution. And so you have also the issue tracker there. And I guess you can find them every information that you need on the most recent developments.
All right. Alagiri also asks something, and that is 2 questions actually, or 4 of them.
Yeah, 2 categories of questions and 4 questions total, I would say.
All right. So the first one is, I want to know whether we're going for Focal OTA 9 soon, or are we going for 2404.1 Noble directly? And when Noble is to be activated for normal users. There are still backports happening on Focal, so some of the things that we're working on in Noble still trickle down to Focal immediately, or at least with an additional merge request. So I would say yes, we're definitely going to release another Focal OTA, but Noble isn't so far away anymore as one would think.
Yeah. Which one will come first? We don't know yet.
Right.
It might be one before the other, Focals and Noble, or Nobles and Focal, but both will have the first consumer-ready Noble version will live in parallel with the OTA 9 on Focal, and so as long as we will have the first OTA of Noble, when OTA 2 will be ready for a wider release on Noble, probably it will mean that there will be no more updates of Focal. So OTA 9 in probably the last one that will happen on Focal.
the next bunch of questions from Alagiri, where is it possible to use the full potential of the UBports installer in the Lumiri desktop? And also, is the kernel for the Lumiri desktop going to be upgraded to mainline kernel? So, with regards to Lumiri on the desktop, which basically sounds to me like Ubuntu, the desktop, just with Lumiri slapped on it, the UBports installer had some initial issues because the Electron we were using was based on an old version that didn't support Wayland properly. I know that Marius has worked a little bit on this, but it's not been released yet. So still something that we can improve so that the UBports installer works properly on Lumiri on the desktop. But with regards to the kernel, we don't maintain the kernel for Ubuntu the desktop. That one is maintained by Canonical, and that one is closer to mainline than our Android-based kernels. We just don't touch the kernel. We just ship the shell, and that's it, and the applications and everything that is required for us to provide a user experience to it. The kernel hasn't been touched in a long time, especially not for the desktop, where we just piggyback on what Canonical provides, so that we can ship a working desktop, right?
Yeah, and except for a couple of mainline phones, then we don't touch usually the kernel, only slight modifications to allow some connectivity that Porter do. It's Porter's magic.
Yeah, but that's for devices, not for the desktop. So on the desktop,
on desktop, we don't do any.
Right. All right.
Yeah, that's it for the question from the forum. Or maybe I can try to update on the forum itself. But when the show started, it was the only question present, and that's still the same. So, yeah. Do we have any questions in the chat?
Live chat, you are allowed to ask questions also. Come up with something.
Yeah.
Come on.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, we're friendly.
We know you're there. We see you.
We can see through the camera.
Yes, we do.
Two-way television. Who would have thought?
Oh, yeah. We came a long way from television.
No, two-way television is not a thing. It doesn't exist.
Yes, it is. Yeah. You talk to us, we talk to you.
I see a question here. Is there Ubuntu Touch for desktop? Not quite, but what we do have is Ubuntu, the desktop, you install it, and then you just install the Lumiri PPA on top. The Lumiri PPA includes Lumiri, the shell, and all the core applications and everything that we want to support, just added on top of Ubuntu 24.04. That means that you can install the server image of 24.04 on your favorite computer and just install the PPA after that, install the Lumiri package, and everything should be good to go. So it's not Ubuntu Touch, but it's Ubuntu Lumiri, if you will.
Yeah, and so you can use applications developed for Lumiri. So you'll have everything that Lumiri UI toolkit provides, and you can also test out some application for development for tablets, use the convergence mode. So your app, you will see, will evolve depending on your resolution. And so, yeah, pretty useful developing Ubuntu Touch on Lumiri.
I see this question. Where can I follow the development of the new version of Ubuntu Touch? The link that I sent just 2 messages before you. That's the link where you can follow all the merged changes. So it's this one.
Yeah,
it's this one. So you can check out what has been merged, what is brewing, what is open, and what still needs changes. And you can chime in. You can also propose your own changes and make it better.
If you know GitLab or how to also clean up things in GitLab, you can also help by contributing to the management of the project, to filter the issues, try to better explain them, or try to set reproduction steps, or that's there's a lot of things in GitLab, and even the failed CI/CD, or mostly it's past ones. So if you see that one is failed, maybe do not update to the next devel, because there might be an issue there. But or if you see some, it's useful to follow the development on GitLab for such things. Currently, I'm running Noble, and I don't pay too much attention on the GitLab, so it's also possible to live without it. But you have to keep updated by other people, and maybe integrate chats on Telegram to get updated on some issues that can appear, and maybe you will know if you want to try and reproduce some bugs, or if you want to wait a little bit more because you rely on your phone on a daily basis.
I see a question here that is close to my ballpark, and that is maybe talk about Fedora and Lumiri. So, something that I haven't talked about yet. Neil Gompa and I have been talking about bringing Lumiri to Fedora, and that is with a link that I'm going to send right here. It's this one, fedoraproject.org/wiki/6/Lumiri. This is our wiki page where we want to find people to help us bring Lumiri to Fedora on the desktop. We also have a Matrix channel, but the public link doesn't work at the moment. But needless to say, we're looking for people who know a little bit about Fedora packaging, so RPM packaging, and want to help us bring Lumiri into the Fedora archive, or into the Fedora repositories, so that people using Fedora can also easily install Lumiri with a fully functioning desktop, just as upstream intended. And this is something that I'm looking forward to, because Fedora has a bunch of users, and some of them really would like to have the old Unity 7 style UI paradigm back in play. So Lumiri tries to provide that, and I hope that others get just as excited as I do when saying the words Lumiri and Fedora in one sentence.
Yeah, that's great. Wow. Maybe that's an idea for a merch, a Fedora with Lumiri written on this.
I see another question that I would like to tackle real quick, and that is, in Fairphone, Ubuntu Touch Terminal, why does it go out of disk space soon? Well, the home directory is on the user data partition, but the rootfs is on a much smaller system partition, which basically just revolves around 3 gigabytes of storage. A little bit more, a little bit less, but regularly just around 3 gigs of storage, which means you can't install everything that you want, because we don't support apt. We support clicks and snaps, and that's what we want to provide, and everything else is just the way it is. The phablet directory, I'm pretty sure it's on the user data partition. If it's not, you might have bricked your device somehow, or modified it in a way that is not suitable for proper use, because we know that the home directory of the phablet user is in user data, and user data is usually on the Fairphone like 200 gigabytes of storage, 200 and a few.
Yeah. And what do I have? 200 gigabytes. That's on the user partition, it's only 2% used for me. So yeah, the 200 gigabytes are here.
So 200 gigabytes definitely are for the user, for home, and for a few other directories, but not for the rootfs. The rootfs is small because we will like it that way, because the rootfs is not intended to be modified in any way, shape, or form. and it's supposed to stay that way. So keep that in mind.
So yeah, read-only rootfs almost full.
Yes, yes, indeed.
That's the idea. Yeah, and by the way, Weekend Team, hi, shout out to you because I love Weekend.
This one is interesting. So no longer Ubuntu Touch, it's going to be Fedora Touch. No. We like our Ubuntu Touch, but if people want to have Lumiri on Fedora, why not, right? Needs people working with it, though. So if anybody out there is really knowledgeable, just reach out to me, FREDLDOTME on Telegram, and send me a message if you know how to do RPM packaging and know a little bit about the inner workings of the Fedora project, how it's flowing and how people are supposed to work together. This one is interesting. Wait a second. Anyway, Fedora is into Flatpaks, not snaps. That's going to be fight on desktop. No, absolutely not. They can use their Flatpaks just as much as they want.
Yeah,
they don't have to use snaps, and Lumiri doesn't expect you to use snaps. It should
just
also
like
work.
you can use Flatpak on Ubuntu.
You could also use Flatpak on Ubuntu. Exactly. Yeah. So the desktop doesn't make any difference whatsoever between systems, applications, snaps, and Flatpaks. It does have some additional code to identify them, but usually a Flatpak should just run as you're expecting.
Yeah. And yeah, also to go back to the question previously, for the change of name, it's been discussed to change the name of Ubuntu Touch to something without Ubuntu, but it has been decided that to stay with Ubuntu Touch, the name, because of the history, because of we are known for being Ubuntu Touch, and so even if UBport tends to be more known nowadays, it's been decided to stay with the Ubuntu Touch name because we like it and it's recognized out there. We have merge already printed with it, so we don't want to change everything. If someday Canonical wants to say, okay, please stop using Ubuntu because it confuses people, then we will consider, of course, a change of name, but that's not in the plan. So yeah, we stick with it.
And I remember a tweet back in the day, like I believe like 2 years ago or something, from the Ubuntu account, where they admitted that Ubuntu Touch is their most favorite child, so to say.
Yeah.
And we would like to.
We left the family home, but yeah, it's still
connected.
Yeah, still the birthplace.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I guess that's it. If no one has no new question, let's call it a day.
I mean, I could eat something in the meantime while other people come up with questions again.
You want to do ASMR videos? Do you want to watch us eat something and drink?
I don't like when others smack the lips while eating, and I'm not going to do it myself, okay?
All right. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you everyone for joining us. And yeah, we hope that you still enjoy the show. We hope to have some good news in the coming days. And we will see each other in a couple of weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.